I was pumped. I was amped, just because I'd never been to Alaska. It was my mission. Everything was starting. But I remember the night before I left, that first day, I kneeled down and I prayed and I asked God to help me have a powerful experience on the plane and with the people, because I wanted to start my mission off on the right foot. And so I was very adamant about being able to teach somebody on the plane. So I grabbed a Book of Mormon, I grabbed pass-along cards, I grabbed all the pamphlets, and I had them all like just shoved into my coat, just ready to go. And I got on the plane and I sat next to some pretty surly people, and so I started talking to them and they just brushed me off. And so I talked to the person in front of me and they brushed me off. So I talked to the person behind me and they brushed me off, and I was super disappointed. But after I had attempted to talk to so many different people, the person that was kitty corner, just back and diagonal from me, kind of reached over and tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, I'm kind of curious about what you're talking about." So in those hours flying to Alaska, I actually got the opportunity to teach the first 3 lessons for the first time on the plane to this guy, and he was with his son, and they were about to go backpack some of the mountains. And he just, I guess, was just really curious about our beliefs, because he had heard them, and he was a really religious man and was really curious to know what made us so different and what was so special. So I think starting my mission off on that foot was really significant, because I knew I could help. I knew I had the confidence to serve, and I knew people were prepared. As for landing was like the biggest shock, because I'm pretty sure everybody thinks of Alaska as Eskimos and igloos and snow on the ground, and I arrived in May, so that's exactly what I was expecting. I was expecting snow on the ground, I was expecting Eskimos, and I was expecting igloos. Maybe not to that extreme, but I was expecting just like kind of small town and walk out into the woods and there's polar bears eating people kind of thing. But it's totally not that. It's you get off the plane and it's a city of 350,000 people, and so it's a city. And it really just kind of caught me off guard that there was actually people living in Alaska, that I wasn't going to spend my entire time on dirt roads. So I was really surprised. I guess a really significant experience I had my first day is we got the chance to go tracting, and the mission at the time, the what do you call it? The tradition was to take greenies, new missionaries, out to go tracting, and I got to go tracting, and that's when I got to see my first moose for the first time. I got to see my first bald eagle in Alaska, and we were knocking doors, and it was just a blast to be there and to be able to talk to people. Yeah, and the rest of the day was just spent at the mission home doing orientations, meeting the mission president, and having my soul searched by the mission president's wife, because she had the most piercing eyes ever.